I really enjoyed the film. I mean, I'm in North London, so just to see a rom-com play out in North London is always.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. Funny thing is, we actually shot most of it in Rome.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, we shot. I think what was it? The 6 week shoot. We shot 4 weeks of it out in Rome, just for the weather, just
Yeah.
because we needed to try and get that summer kind of vibe going for it. But yeah, the 2 week shoot in London, man, it's great. It was great. It was great.
I mean, when it comes to this genre, I mean, Nick Moore is such an experienced hand, and he's worked on some major films. I just wonder
Yeah.
what it was like working under his kind of stewardship on this project.
Honestly, it was. It almost gets me emotional because that man will go above and beyond for his cast and his crew, and his level of understanding of people is something that I've never found in anyone I've ever met before. He'll be behind the monitor in floods of tears, and he's just so in it with you, and he's on that journey, and he's honest. I can't wait to have an opportunity to work with him again. He's one of the most wonderful men. Aside from him just being an incredible kind of steward, is his vision, his empathy, his soul, really. Yeah, I think he's a wonderful man.
It just makes such a big difference, doesn't it? I've been on set a few times doing kind of behind the
Yeah,
scenes. When they set the tone, and if they're, when they're like that, it just makes for a happy place to go to work.
really do. I think a lot of people don't really understand that or can get that until you're in that environment, and it can change on the flip of a coin if a director is kind of having a bad day. And look, listen, everyone's got personal stuff going on, but he really lived and breathed the film with us, and everyone else's personal lives as well. Like, you'd see him on set and he'd be talking to the PA about their mom who was sick, and he's just so personable like that.
Yeah. So what is it what makes a good rom-com for you then? Because it is one of the genres that when it's spot on, it's just
Yeah, I love a rom-com. I think it's that dark, it's the tragicness of something hitting that light, and that you just want it to cling on to. You just want them to kind of. How can I put it? I just want to be able to scream at my TV or scream at that theater screen, whatever it is, and just say, just open your fucking eyes. I think that's it. I think that's the one way of like a really good rom com. It's just like open your fucking eyes. It's almost like one of the puppet shows kind of thing. But and it's the depth that makes you want them to win. I think that's what brings it all together.
because obviously, I mean, the male like lead in a romantic comedy, when it's told from the female perspective, of course, it kind
Yeah,
of initially appears as something of a kind of heartthrob, someone that the protagonist desires. But how
right.
important is it for you as an actor to give depth and to give nuance to the role and to give him a real kind of backstory as well?
I think that's the beautiful thing about it coming from a book as well, and that kind of all that work was really done for me. It's kind of in the script, and I don't think in many rom-coms we really get to see that level of depth, or where someone's really come from for them to be the way they are. It's more left down to the audience and the actor to kind of portray that, and for the audience to figure that out. But I feel like it was all in the script with this, really, and definitely in the book. We look back on the book, but then honestly as well, like, just going to Nick. Nick was just the point for everything, and I feel like. I hope that really does come across, because I think the character Quinn that I play in this, it really is uh it's not what you expect. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's what drew me to the character as well. I think he's got levels to him, and he's not just that guy or this guy. He's a bit of everything, like we all are as humans, I think.
Yeah, you similar to him in any way?
Yes, yeah. There's certain parts of him that I'd say but I'd say in the whole, not so much. I think Quinn kind of lives in Quinn world in a weird way, and he's kind of that understanding of him trying to protect himself and protect everyone around him. He doesn't really live for himself as much, and I think that's the one the way we can relate is the way that he does protect it and look out for his family. But I think deep down, I think that I'm a little bit more open and a little bit more forgiving than Quinn.
Of course, you've got to work so closely with Sophie on this. I just wonder, had
Yeah.
you met beforehand, and what kind of goes into creating a chemistry that we see on screen? Are you given the luxury of time to kind of get to know each other, maybe go for a drink before the shoot, just to kind of,
Yeah, I think we first met. Was it in? I think we first met when we went for dinner. We went for dinner with one of the producers and Nick in London, and lunch. Sorry, we went for a little lunch date together, all four or five of us, and it was kind of just like instant. It was just she kind of had she kind of just came to the table with a notebook, and she was just like, this is how I want this is what I want to do, and this is how I'm feeling. And I was like, wow, she's in it, and she really cares about this project. And for me, that was the biggest draw for her, kind of coming on board and doing what she does so well, is her understanding of the character and how she wanted to play it, I guess. And yeah, we got to hang out before we started filming, and then was into the thick of it, really.
Yeah, of course, the characters share birthdays. Do you have any famous birthday twins that you know of?
I don't know if I've got either Kanye West or what's his name, Captain Jack, Johnny Depp.
Oh, cool.
I think he's one of them two or both of them. I'm not too sure. Yeah.
I think I've got serial killer Fred West, so not quite as
Have
cool.
you? I was gonna say, I was like, what are you gonna go for, bro?
But yeah, this is quite a big question, but obviously because it feels like in the film, it feels a little bit like the character was kind of fate brought these characters together. I just wondered, are you someone that believes in fate? Are you quite a romantic at heart in that regard?
Yeah, man. Gosh, I think that the world would be a really sad place if we didn't believe in it, you know? I think that's the beautiful thing about, I don't know, getting out of bed and walking down the street or taking a drive or whatever. You don't know who you're going to bump into, where you're going to bump into them, and whether it be a relationship or a friendship or someone that can just change your day or change your week. Yeah, I'm a hopeless romantic when it comes to that. I don't like the word hopeless, actually. I'm just going to say romantic when it comes to that. Yeah.
Hopeful romantic.
Hopeful romantic. There we go. Hopeful romantic. Yeah, I like that, man.
Because this is a really good role and a really good project for you. And I was looking at kind of, it feels like quite an exciting moment in your career from the outside, at least. Does it feel the same for you? Does it feel like there's something behind you at the moment? There's kind of something exciting happening.
That's a really beautiful way of putting it. I feel like for so long, you kind of you just get kind of, you go in for auditions, and you know what I mean, you're meeting these people, and there's promises that get made that don't come through. But there's always a kind of like that underlying kind of relentless, like, I don't think the word's relentless, but it's that thing that keeps on ticking inside, no matter how bad things seem to be. It just, something just keeps on ticking inside, telling you to kind of keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. So when something like you have a moment like this, it really is a wonderful thing, and I'm so thankful and grateful that I'm able to kind of still be doing what I love to do after so long, and work with amazing people like Nick, and I just wrapped on Emily Paris like on Saturday, so kind of coming down from that high as well. But yeah, I feel like I'm at a really good point at the minute, and I'm excited to see what comes next.
Yeah, because I think a lot of actors, when you kind of speak to them about their kind of career, there is often that role that they really feel just elevated and took their career to another level. Is that Emily in Paris for you, do you think?
You know what? We'll see. I guess we'll see. But because I think most roles you take on, and you feel like this is the one that could change spin the needle. But I'm just really fortunate to be working with great people, and I'm working on projects I like. I think I've won. You know, I think everything after the past 5 years, I'm winning. So yeah, I'm kind of, don't get me wrong, I'm still gunning for the hills, but I feel like I'm a winner, you know, because it's a funny thing, man. It's like your life is dictated on people's opinions at the end of the day. If you're going to take this role, you're going to be right for this role, or whatever that is. So it's kind of like finding your own center and finding what makes you happy, aside from all this, and just knowing your worth. So yeah, in that respect, I'm on top. I'm winning. But yeah, it's nice to hear that, and it's nice to work on good projects. Yeah.
You must have felt like you've worked super hard to get where you are today. I mean,
man. Yeah.
Grafted, man. You've really grafted.
Yeah. I'm like, you know what? It's like you break it down, and it's like the sacrifices you're making. And don't get me wrong, you know what it's like. It's not all red carpets and, do you know what I mean? And flights here and flights there and premieres and stuff. It's a lot of, it's just the no's, the amount of no's and the amount of, do you know what I mean? Broken promises. And like I say, it's graft and grind, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I love absolutely every minute of it. I love getting on set, and I love entertaining and doing my thing, and I love playing these characters. So yeah, I feel super blessed, man.
Cool. That's a lovely note to end on. Thank you so much for speaking to me.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Really, really appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys.
Hey, you guys!
Hey You Guys.
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey You Guys.
Hey, you guys!